Breathwork is the intentional and conscious change of our breathing patterns. It covers a range of different techniques whereby we lengthen and shorten our breaths in and out to varying degrees with the aim of altering our mental, emotional, and physical states. Before we even get started, I want to bring to your attention the fact that our breath is the most important part of our health. Our lung capacity and function are the single biggest indicators of our longevity. Let that sink in. I bet you've never thought of it that way. Before I got into breathwork, I certainly hadn't. Now, I promised I wouldn't get too technical with you, but I personally find that having at least a top-line understanding of the way my body works and breathes really helps me visualize its mechanics as I go through my practice. Either way, it's a great starting point for us to explore breath, this amazing, powerful tool stored in each of us. Once upon a time, I was riding bareback through life, but now I've discovered something that grounds me, making me feel rooted, centered, and safe. If you're seeking anything like that, come saddle up and let's jump right in. You probably remember from school that when we breathe in, we take in oxygen from the air and release carbon dioxide when we breathe out. That basic automatic exchange occurs between 17,000 and 24,000 times a day. That's pretty wild when you think about it. Thoughtlessly, you're breathing in and out tens of thousands of times every single day without ever consciously having to tweak or tense a single muscle. Your body just does it. Diving a bit deeper, the breathing process is a pretty slick operation. When you breathe in, your diaphragm contracts and moves downward. You can refer to the illustration in the PDF. This muscular movement increases the space in your chest cavity, ballooning out like a beautiful pufferfish. As your lungs open up, air gets sucked in through your nose or mouth. That air travels down your windpipe into the bronchial tubes that lead into each lung and then into these cute little air sacs called alveoli. Our lungs contain approximately 500 million of them. That adds up to about 2,400 kilometers of airway. OMG, right? I told you this was wild. Just to let you know, your lungs aren't perfectly symmetrical like you see in all of these diagrams. The lung on the left side of your body is divided into two, while the lung on your right side is split into three. The left lung is slightly smaller, allowing room for your beautiful heart. It doesn't make much difference, but I sometimes like to have a little bit of information to help me to connect with what's going on inside. Now, there are many different kinds of breathing. There's regular breathing. This is the kind that happens naturally and doesn't require any effort. Deep breathing is the kind that you do when you're being pushed to the max by your spin instructor. But there's also a diaphragmatic breathing, where you consciously use your diaphragm to help you to take deep breaths. This kind of breathing is very obvious because it puffs your belly out like a blowfish. Finally, we have costal breathing, which is the shallower type of breathing where you use just the top of your chest. Your intercostal muscles are the ones between your ribs. If you're taking short, sharp breaths in quick cycles with only the top of the chest moving, you're breathing in this style. So many of us are constantly walking around only breathing costally, aka shallow breathing. This abnormal breathing pattern triggers our autonomic nervous system to believe we are in the state of danger. When this happens, the body's natural reaction is to start releasing all kinds of hormones into our blood to get us ready for fight or flight, to keep us safe. However, this can then turn into a cycle because the shallower we breathe, the more stress hormones are released into the bloodstream. And of course, the more stressed we feel, the shallower we breathe. Let's just take a little minute to reflect on that.